coming up on DHN.
Find out what the symptoms for Ebola are and how they differ from the respiratory virus that's currently spreading.
The Kansas City Royals are going to the World Series. We'll take a look at why everyone can't stop talking about this team.
Real life can now be captioned. But we'll take a look at whether or not people will actually use it.
Stay tuned for a look at how the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner is affecting some of today's youth.
DHN starts now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Yinks-Tuber.
And I'm Brandon Grigsby.
I'm sure you'll notice that all of us have on the pink ribbons today.
Yep, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
DHN's Dyan Kovacs sat down with some people who had an amazing story of survival.
Even though I went annually for an x-ray and everything kept coming up fine, I felt a hard lump and I thought, it couldn't be.
It's been over 14 years since Bernice Singleton was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I still have checkups every 6 months and everything has been coming up clear.
Bernice is now one of the 2.8 million women in the U.S. to be diagnosed with breast cancer as of 2014. Bernice is a survivor, but her sister lost her battle to breast cancer. Her daughter was also recently diagnosed. While the treatment was a scary process, Buddy says he couldn't be happier Bernice is healthy again.
I was scared, of course. I mean, the two of us met when I was just 13 and she was 12. We've been together ever since.
With breast cancer affecting so many, everyone's lives seem to have been touched by the disease.
We were all very close to my grandmother. It was very hard. I still miss her.
Breast cancer runs in Aimee Robles' family. Her grandmother died when Aimee was 11, her mother was diagnosed at 50, and Aimee has had a few scares herself. She says awareness is key.
I go every year for my mammogram. I do self-checks every month. I'm very proactive. I think, if it happens, then I want to know early on.
While breast cancer is something people are aware of in the hearing community, it is something many people feel ashamed of in the deaf community. The Singletons have worked to change that.
They're secretive and they hide it from everyone. And now with the book, they can relate their experiences to everyone else and be more open.
Bernice collected hundreds of stories from people about their experiences with breast cancer. She has released 3 books since.
It helps people understand what to expect. All the people in the books are deaf too.
The one thing everyone's agreed on:
get checked. You must get checked immediately. Don't wait too long.
We're telling women, no, you have to take your health into your own hands. And so this whole month, it tells them, it gives them the tools, it gives them the awareness, it makes them think.
Take the flu, add in a respiratory virus, and the very small threat that you might catch Ebola, and you've got yourself quite the virus storm. Health officials say that the chance of getting Ebola in this country is still very low, but because of the death of a Liberian man from Ebola who flew to Texas, hospitals are now on high alert. A respiratory virus is also affecting mostly kids, and it's called Enterovirus D-68. And this one has many people worried. But how can we tell which one is which? All 3 come with a fever, but Ebola symptoms are much more severe. You'll see heavy sweating, a chance of diarrhea or vomiting, and you'll feel a lot of stomach pain. Doctors have said that you have to be very close in contact with someone who has Ebola in order for you to catch it. The Enterovirus D-68 can have mild to severe respiratory problems. You might suffer from a runny nose or sneezing, and you may feel body aches. The flu comes with chills, a sore throat, and you might feel fatigued. The best way to avoid these problems is to go see your doctor.
Malala Yousafzai is 17 years old and now the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. We spoke with one girl about how Malala has impacted her life.
Malala was an advocate for children's education and became well known after the Pakistani Taliban tried to kill her because she demanded the right to go to school.
She cared about education and said that education is the key to everything. And she said that if education can be taught in the next generation, then people won't make the same mistakes that they've been doing.
That is 13-year-old Daniela Maucere. She is a coda and a student over in California. She recently learned about Malala's work and says that she is one of her role models.
She got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and she won it, and I feel like that's very important for a young girl to see that.
Malala has been an inspiration for people across the world and even inspired Daniela to make changes in her own life after being bullied.
I was too afraid to say anything because I would think I would make it worse, but now that I look back, I wish that I did, because I felt like that would make a huge change in my life.
Let's sign with ASL Nook. Champ. What does that sign mean? Well, it's when you absolutely love something, or when something is just top of the line and way cool. Now, I'm not going to show you how to use it. I'm going to let my kids show you.
Champ, 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 champ.
Whoa! Woo, that was champ.
Whoa, that was champ. Champ. Ah!
5 years of hard work and over 120 hours of interviews later, and Finding Zoe has officially hit the shelves.
It wasn't an easy task. Brandi Rarus
is the co-author for a new book called Finding Zoe.
Finding Zoe is about so many different things, really. It's about growing up deaf. It's about deaf culture. It's about adoption. It's about unexpected teen pregnancies. It's about being true to yourself.
The book just launched and is now available on Amazon. Brandi wrote the book about her daughter Zoe.
When we brought our daughter home, she was only 8 months old, and yet we were her 5th home in those 8 months.
And the personal journey adopting Zoe took her on.
We were angry and wanted to understand why. We were led to believe that a big part of the reason she kept being put back into the system was because she was deaf.
Brandi hopes that the book will be a success and says it's given her the opportunity to truly look at herself.
Every book begins with a good story, and I felt so strongly that this was a great story, and I was compelled to share it.
Zoe has yet to read the book, but she's already telling people how her mom has made her famous.
A new app was just launched that will make real life captionable. Students at Georgia Tech released captioning on glass.
I wanted to know if I could help you at all with the class.
While some have worried about how well the software will recognize speech,
the voice technology is actually really good. It does a really good job at recognizing what you're saying and translating it to text already. Yeah, it captured everything that you said. So the people who've developed the software are already tapping into something that Google Glass does really well.
Megan Calcote is one of the beta testers of Google Glass. She often coordinates interpreters and cart services for events, and she can see many of the benefits for the deaf and hard of hearing community.
So you don't have to look up at the screen to see what somebody's saying. You can still be looking at that person and be able to read what they're saying.
Michele Michaels, the hard of hearing specialist with ACDHH, also sees the benefits.
I love to see new technology coming out that's going to help 48 million Americans who are hard of hearing like myself.
But some are worried how ASL users will respond.
They can talk and you can read it, but for deaf people who sign, how do they talk back to hearing people?
Branded Bowdidge likes the new technology, but thinks it could first use a few improvements.
For hard of hearing students or employees who can talk, it will be a real benefit for them. However, for deaf people, I don't think it's ready yet.
As the technology grows, we'll have to see what other software impacts the deaf and hard of hearing community.
I think as the technology evolves and people learn about it and see how much it benefits them, they'll embrace it.
A new feature on Convo Mobile is making phone calls even easier for users.
Well, if I miss a call, I notice it immediately and I can call people back right away.
Convo Lights allows users to create a customizable alarm system for their phone calls. Michele owns Salon Riveri and now uses Convo Lights for her business.
Before, when I'd give out my number, I'd always have to tell people to text me because I wasn't sure if I'd miss their call or not, but now I have so much more confidence.
The new feature was created by Convo Relay, and they use the Philips Hue software.
They weren't quite sure exactly what the problems it might solve, but they built the lights and made the technology open to the public.
They presented the new technology this past summer.
People were so overwhelmed at first. They felt it was some sort of futuristic sci-fi technology thing.
By using strips and light bulbs that you can purchase at your local hardware store, users are able to customize the lights to their preferred settings.
Convo Mobile will connect itself and start working with the lights. When the alarm goes off, the lights softly brighten with any color you want. Once you connect to the call, the whole room will brighten. If you miss a call, the lights will grow red. The lights can actually match your personal style. It creates an environment.
Michele says that this new technology has made a world of difference in her business.
I've had an influx of clients because of Convo Lights.
ISIS surrounded one of Iraq's biggest air bases, according to officials. Many are now wondering if the United States' efforts were in vain. If they succeed in taking the airbase, they will have a new cache of weapons. Even with air attacks from the U.S., ISIS is regrouping for battle. While airstrikes may not have been the full answer, the U.S. was expecting more Iraqi forces to fight. They are not, and that is leaving a big question about what to do now.
And now for a look at what's going on in sports.
Just a few more days till the World Series begins. The Kansas City Royals have been on a hot streak after entering the playoffs for the first time in 29 years. They have rallied over the Oakland A's, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and just beat out the Baltimore Orioles to ensure their spot in the World Series, where they will face the San Francisco Giants. Everyone is looking at this team because they are the underdogs. Kansas City is the first team to win the wildcard game and the league championship. This is the second time they've entered the postseason, and they have yet to lose a game. The Royals also have 15 infield hits, while the other teams are sitting at 14.
The winner of the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Speedway took a back seat behind one driver's aggressive behavior. Kevin Harvick won the NASCAR race, but Brad Keselowski stole the limelight after repeatedly crashing into other cars after the race was over and even chasing another driver and throwing some punches. NASCAR is now charging him with a $50,000 fine. With this win, Harvick moves on to the third round of the Sprint Cup Championship.
The NFL has been blackballed yet again. Dallas Cowboys running back Joseph Randle was arrested for shoplifting. He allegedly stole $150 worth of items, including underwear and cologne, from a Dillard's like this in Texas. The Cowboys announced that they will fine him, but not suspend him. Randall was scheduled to earn about $450,000 this year.
The NBA's reigning MVP, Kevin Durant, fractured his foot in preseason. The forward for the Oklahoma City Thunders broke it during practice. Durant will have surgery and be out for 6 to 8 weeks, including the first month of the NBA season. In his 8-year career, Durant has only missed 16 games.
Guess where I'm going tonight?
Where?
I'm going to the Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards because DHN was nominated for a Not a Student Award.
Oh, I hope we win.
Right?
I can't wait to see pictures.
Oh, yes. We'll be posting them on Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time on DHN.